What's up guys, it's JXT here and I need a new Nintendo 64 controller because my second one's analog stick's a bit bung. So I'm going to go check out Starboard Games here in Melton. Luckily I live in Melton, so it's only a 4-minute drive for me. Got a lot of retro vintage games and collectibles, so I'm excited. I haven't been there before, let's go check it out.
Starboard Games, right in the heart of Melton, just off High Street. And first thing I noticed, they have one of our Mayhem Pro event posters for our live pro wrestling in Melton in the windows, which is great that they're supporting us already. When you walk in, you'll notice there are 3 really long, deep aisles, just absolutely full of stuff. It's not just retro gaming, they've got collectibles and anything pop culture. I spent over an hour in there, so I'm sure if anyone walked in this store, whether you're a gamer or not, there's going to be something in there that you will like, and there's just, yeah, absolutely everything. All their games are in alphabetical order, which made things really easy for me because I'm always looking for niche wrestling things, so I could go straight to the W section and just check out all their wrestling stuff. But it wasn't just games. As you see, we turn around, they've got all these like rare things up the top, like really expensive items, high ticket items, rare collectibles too. They had comic books in there, and every console, like obviously the Xbox, the Wii, every version of the PlayStation. They had Atari stuff, Nintendo stuff. It was really deep in the aisles, and it was really fun to look at. The staff was super friendly. They were really cool with me filming things. We were chatting for ages about what we collect, what we're looking at, you know, talking about things like this, like how cool is that Nintendo 64 display. You would wonder, is that from a store from back in the day? They have glass cabinets here, and there's just so many different things in here, like Star Wars, Harry Potter. You're a wizard, Harry. I am a what? Transformers. They got plush toys. I was thinking about getting a plush toy for my dog, but you know, maybe not something like that. He's gonna rip it up anyway. Some Simpsons stuff, which I was really interested in. Even some pencils if you want to go back to school. But yeah, all forms of collecting in here, which is super cool. And yeah, if you want to go in and just try things out, like I said, the Nintendo 64 display, they had an Atari up on display that you could play as well. Whole bunch of different things. Little tchotchkes here in the glass cases. It was quite overwhelming seeing so many things, as it can be. A bit of Street Fighter up on the screen here, and some, you know, even Hot Wheels for Hot Wheels collectors. So pretty much, if you're a collector of anything, I would say pop in. Especially, like, I live in Melton. I couldn't believe it's, you know, 50 minutes west of the Melbourne CBD. So if you live in Victoria, it ain't that far to drive. They had these Japanese region-locked games, which I hadn't seen before. I know of them, and you need a Japanese region console to play these in amongst the NXT 2K17 PS4 limited edition bundle there. So these Japanese-specific games, I've only ever played them through emulators. I was looking for a Virtual Pro Wrestling or a Virtual Pro Wrestling 2. Yeah, it was really interesting to see, and that's niche. If you're in the collector market for things like that, there ain't many places to go, and you've got to hunt far and wide. So to have them, you know, locally was very cool. And then I got into the action figures looking for wrestling stuff. Could you believe it? Oh man, Virgil. I found a Virgil micro brawler, which I couldn't believe. A Brody Lee micro brawler. Oh, just seeing that here, it was ridiculous. Look at these, Xavier Woods, a Broski, Cardona will be wrapped with that, Zack Ryder with a permit on beard, Al Snow Bone Cruncher, some R3 figures, Mattel Basics. I just couldn't believe they were there. But again, they're buying collections, they're buying people's things like Beyblades, look at that, Let It Rip. And look what I found at the back here, a Ruthless Aggression style Jack's WWE Survivor Series Randy Orton in amongst all this. So I only know about the wrestling figures. But if you're into action figures, look at all this. Like, there was so much Dragon Ball Z and just absolutely everything. Looking through it was great. Look at these, some WWE toy belts. Man, perfect for kids that aren't meant to be wrestling in their living room. There was a random Sasha Banks in there. So yeah, a part of being a collector, and I think everyone has their own type of collecting. Mine's obviously wrestling, and there's specific things in wrestling. I'm always looking through these stores trying to hunt and find like a wrestling thing out the back there, and finding those things was cool. They had some 3D printed game stands, tons of pop figures, one of those Thor diamond things. I got no idea about that, I'll be honest with you. Superheroes ain't my jam, it's wrestling. But I was having so much fun just looking through it and all the different kinds of things, all the different brands on display and what was available, let alone what there is out there. Because yeah, stores like this sadly don't exist that much. So that's why I was so pumped to be in there. And I was like, yeah, I'm making a video. Like, this is so cool. Some more rare games in here. There's a Simpsons hit and run hidden in there. And as we got to the retro console accessories, I was blown away at not just how many things there were, but things I never even knew existed. Like, look at these different kinds of controls. There's a Mario Kart in there and Pokemon Snap. And here it comes. What started it all, WWF Warzone. That is how I found wrestling and got into it. And I guess what made me the man I am today. I love seeing it. And behind the counter they have all different cords too, so if you're missing a cord or a cord broke that you need for a specific console, they've got it, which was great. Some Dreamcast games, and look at these controls. I'd never seen these PlayStation controls. Obviously some of them are off brand, but look at that, like that's an official PlayStation 1 joystick gimmick thingy. You know, like there's a Japanese console for your region lock games. Yeah, I was learning as I went. I was like, I didn't even know this existed or what this was. And getting into the Pokemon, there was lots of it. There wasn't a lot of cards per se. There are some graded cards, as you see here, but it wasn't a trading card store that had cards and cards on there. But lots of Pokemon, lots of Game Boy. Like, look at all the different variations of Game Boy they have available. And they make sure everything's working, and if it's not, they, you know, fix things and everything. They let you know ahead of time if things have been refurbished or not, or had to be fixed up. The Legends of Wrestling there on the Game Boy Advance triggered me. I started hunting for Legends of Wrestling Showdown. Couldn't find it though, sadly. And then I got into the Grand Theft Auto and I found episodes of Liberty City, which is the only installment I hadn't played yet. And I went, oh no, they've got me. But yeah, great time in there and very happy man. All right, we're back from Starboard Games. I've got my dog Nash Potato with me. He's excited that I'm home. And they got me. I bought more than I was meant to buy. I went in trying to get one thing and one thing only, but I also walked out with Grand Theft Auto episodes from Liberty City. Yes, I've played GTA 4, but I never played the expansions, and here we are. And I was like, we're in the build up to GTA 6, so going through these and playing these for the first time ever will be pretty cool. And I also got a second Nintendo 64 control so that my missus can play, because my second control had a bug analog stick, and they told me they refurbish all the analog sticks and make sure they're all working, which is great. All I care is that it works. I got a red one. It was the coolest color they had there. And yeah, really good stuff. Check it out. Starboard Games right here in Melton.